Hey everybody, what's going on, people? What's going on with Vasori and Riders? It is your girl, Lady Vasori, in the building, and we are talking about that old style conjure today, baby. We are talking about that old style conjure, and it's all about what I use, and it is hoodoo. I do use a voodoo and voodoo as well. A sprinkle of little Haitian in this, but my main focus is hoodoo. I also incorporate a little Wicca into my spiritual diet as well. A little Buddhism. I incorporate a lot of different aspects to my walk, but my main walk in conjure is hoodoo, and we are talking about that old style conjure today in this video. What's up, guys? I want to just say to all of my new subscribers, welcome into my space, y'all. Please feel free to comment positively to any comments. If you want to see a certain video, let your girl know, and I'll do some research and then, come through and do a quick video for you from what I found. I love to do that. I love to teach. I love to learn, and I love the occult, and that is just what it is. I am the owner and operator of a spiritual online Botanica called Visions by Vasori. I offer everything in the occult. I offer client works. I offer tarot readings. I offer oracle readings, as well as life coaching. And now recently I just placed on my site, if you are in the Charlotte area, North Carolina, I will come and do an altar setup for you. All right, cleanse it, set it up, and everything with you, and you will also receive a informational packet of how to work your altar, guys. All right, let's get started with this lesson, guys. I do have my notes right here because I can only give my best when I can see it. I can't remember all this shit, so we're gonna talk from my notes today, okay? And every day. Let's go. I have had a very eventful day already. Y'all, I have had a very eventful day, y'all, but just got a lot on my mind. It is what it is. Y'all just support me. If you support me, I can make up my mind on whether I don't have to get a job and go off of it's a lot. Just support. That's all I got to say. Anyway, let's get into this lesson about that old conjure. I am a conjure woman, plain and simple. I cannot tell you where I got it from. Hoodoo is a folk magic that has survived many years. I personally think that somewhere in my family practiced and it trickled down to me. I also found out that I have a lot of African descent in me, as well as some Scottish descent, so that could be why. But yeah, since hoodoo is not a religion, it is a practice, and it has always been a practice by a variety of people, regardless of their background or sometimes their race or their religious background. Now, it's taboo. If I believe that anyone should practice hoodoo, books are available, information is available. Sometimes you cannot gatekeep things. It is what it is, but you have to think in a sense it came from the backs of slaves. So I have nothing to say about that. But hoodoo places an emphasis on the magical power of herbs, roots, and curios used in the work, and it isn't linked to any form of religion. It is a practice, okay? Hoodoo can be adapted to many forms of worship, though. Hoodoo also focuses on making one's life better. It focuses on the home, on the energy, helping one in everyday living, which to why we say it came off the backs of slaves and the backs of our ancestors. Now, the main concern of a conjure woman is, to me, blessing their homes, keeping their homes peaceful, because your home is your heartbeat, baby. This is where you breathe and you take everything off and you become yourself, is your home. Making sure that your mate is faithful. Sometimes people do that a lot. Drawing in luck, making sure people have that space of positive energy that are around you. It's all about a balance and a knowing. The way hoodoo achieves this is by laying tricks or working the root, as we call it. This is done through prayers, it's done through candle work, lucky hands, bags, gree-grees, spells, candle magic, and many more other things. Also, a large amount of oils, powders, and waters are used along with different salts in hoodoo. Now, like many other types of magic, hoodoo really attributes magical properties to herbs, to roots, minerals, animal parts, and personal items. Although each generation that I have seen adds its own twist to the work. The heart of the work remains the same though, but of course they have their twists and their turns. Some people do it this way, I might do it this way, but it all remains the same energy at the end. All right, the energy of a living testimony to the beliefs of those who came before us, which is our ancestors. That is what it is all about. Our ancestors, our deities. Hoodoo does not require a lot of elaborate preparation either. Expensive tools, that's a no, or specialized knowledge, unless it's coming from the people who have worked roots before. It also does not demand years of training or order to be successful. Now, the training comes from me learning, but it doesn't take years to learn this stuff. It doesn't. The most important tool you need in hoodoo is faith and knowing in yourself that your conjure work will work. That's the most important tool that you need in this particular walk. Not that I think it will, but I know it will. Some people view conjure work as nothing more than superstition too. And to those folks, I say don't knock it until you tried it, baby. Don't knock it till you tried it. Because faith without works is dead. To understand this type of magic as well, you have to have an understanding of our ancestors who practiced it. If it seems too simple to be real, you have to understand that these were simple, down-to-earth people. They didn't have the things we have today, but it worked and they used what they had available, which is why it came to pass that hoodoo is a practice. Okay, they work from daylight until dark for other people. They by the time the end of the day came, they were too tired to do an elaborate ritual, I'm sure. Hoodoo was practiced in their everyday life, from the way they swept their yards to the way they threw out that old mop water. So don't be fooled by the simplicity of this type of conjure work, because it's all in the mind. It's all in the knowing it's going to be a better day. Okay? Now, I just want to repeat myself here to make sure that it is very well understood that hoodoo is not a religion. It is a practice of conjuration. It's a practice of conjure. Most conjure workers are Christians, but not all of them. But most of them, they are Christians. The fact is, most conjurers believe that the power of the roots, the power of the herbs, the power of the curios, and the deployment of the work is enough to make the job successful, to make the job what we call stick. stick. You understand what I'm saying? It is the conjurer's preference, though, to bring their religious background into the work. It's a preference. I know a lot of Christian witches. I know a lot of Christian hoodooists. Conjure work is exactly what the name implies, to conjure something up. Hoodoo does not have a set of rules to follow per se. Okay? We don't have a rule of 3 or any other new age stuff that is out there. We don't have the turn the other cheek type of rule. The worker is responsible for their own actions. Okay? Now, what conjure work does is have a set of practices, or maybe I should say principles, that make it hoodoo. Some old workers can be very harsh and outspoken when they feel that the principle of conjure work are not being followed. Like that old work, baby, what? They also don't mind telling you that what you are doing is not hoodoo. It is something else. That's why when people come in my space telling me this is not of Christian, this is not of this, and I'll be like, baby, I don't even walk that. I walk hoodoo, old conjure. And if a elder came and told me I was doing something wrong, much respect, and I'm gonna fix that. Okay? We don't mind telling you when they don't mind telling you when they see that it is hoodoo and you're doing it wrong. Unlike Christians tell you and you don't even walk the same walk. You understand what I'm saying? And again, sometimes with the older people too, we always have to keep in mind though that ourselves, that we may have a different walk in hoodoo. All the different types of ways to do things usually isn't done in but a certain type of way. You have old country hoodoo, St. Louis hoodoo, Haitian hoodoo. You have low country hoodoo. Some, when they come into hoodoo, are under the misconception that they can do the work any way they want to. But all you need is the principles. It's the principles behind hoodoo. The principles will never change. Even though all workers do the work different, they all follow basically the same guidelines. Take the Psalms, for instance. It is a strong part of hoodoo, but not all workers use them. The Holy Bible is used in hoodoo, but all workers don't use the Bible. Most workers use prayers in their work, but again, some do not. If I were like a new person trying to learn the right way to do hoodoo, I would be very confused, okay? Again, hoodoo is not a religion. It doesn't have to use the Bible, Psalms, passages. It doesn't. It is a practice of conjure. And however you resonate with it is how you should walk. Just take from whatever you need. Although these things are strongly embedded in hoodoo, it is your choice if you choose to use them. So here is one principle of hoodoo that I just gave you. You can have any religious preference you want and still do conjure work. All right? So now that we understand that, the next question is, what in the world are these principles that I keep talking about, and where do I find them? Now, as I said earlier, there are certain ways of doing things that make up hoodoo. All right. You're not going to find much written about the principles. You're just not, because it was a secret practice. The principles consist of the deployment of your work, the belief that the roots, the herbs, the bark, the curios, the flowers hold their own power to get the job done. Okay. This also includes crossroad work, graveyard work, placing tricks in clothing, washes, baths, spiritual waters, honey or sweetening work, and much, much more. I just want to touch bases on a few of these, and I think we will get an idea of what I am trying to explain to you without giving out too much of the practice. Because yeah, I'm just not going to give too much. All right. Depending on the work will depend on how you deploy your work. If you want to bring something or someone to you, then your work would be placed inside of your home. It's just simple. If you are doing love work, then the work can be placed under your bed or under your mattress or at the head of your bed, under your pillow, under your door stoop, or buried in your yard facing east. All these places will bring the work to you. Okay? Now, if you want to remove someone from you, for whatever reason, this type of work will be buried in the west, where the sun goes down. Y'all like my little pouch? If you want to get somebody away from you in the west, where the sun goes down, little black ones. And it can also be taken to the crossroads. You can also take it to the graveyard, or you can place it in running water. Most workers use at least one of these methods to remove unwanted people from their space. I use about 3 or 4 of these methods. You can't tell. If I want to get rid of something, I'm using any one of them that's accessible at the time. Most workers use at least one though. The next question would be how to leave the work at these places. You need to state your intention, and then you can either bury it or just leave your work at the crossroads or the graveyard. This is a black. Okay? As I was taught that when you leave your work in either the graveyard or the crossroads, that you pay the spirit in order to leave your work. If it is a graveyard or any kind of where you have to pay, or a cemetery, you're going to pay 3 cents before you reach the gate, 3 cents at the gate, and pay to leave the work, and then pay 3 more cents when you leave. And you're going to back out of the cemetery throwing the 3 cents. Made sense? I hope that, I don't want to get too technical, but that's how we do it, okay? When you do that, this ensures you that nothing will follow you out of that cemetery or that graveyard. When I leave my work at the crossroads, I ask the keeper of the crossroads to accept the work. Whoever you choose the keeper to be, that's on you. If you might not have that, just pay the spirits. I state my intentions. You're going to pay the 3 cents, then either bury the work or leave it in the center of the crossroads. Then leave without looking back. I told you, don't look back. If you throw your work in the running water, you do it a little differently. You're going to take the work to the running water, and as you approach the water, you're going to stay in your mind. I also say that I am paying to leave the work when I get to the water's edge. Okay? If you're at wherever the running water is, turn your back to the water. Throw the work over your left shoulder with your back turned towards the water. Then throw the 3 pennies and leave without looking back behind you. Okay? All right. For the last example that I just gave you, let's discuss deploying a trick in someone's clothing or in their shoes. This is also a typical way to deploy tricks in conjure work. If you want to work on someone without them knowing it, you can use oils, you can use powders, you can use herbal washes in their laundry. Let's say your spouse cheated on you and you want him under your control. You want him to do right, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to tie or bind him to you. You just wanted to stop him from running around on you. The first thing you should do is get a handkerchief and tie up some roots and herbs that will do the trick while with that certain intention, while stating your petition. Then add this to his laundry. I will also dress his socks, his shoes, his underwear with powders while stating your intention. Now don't go too heavy, baby. You don't want him to itch up, okay? Then I will dress the cap band of his cap, okay? He wears a hat. That's domination getting in his head that he wears every day. You could do this with oil while stating the petition. All these things are principles of conjure work. This is what conjure work is. Basically, a set of ways of doing things. And when you try to change these principles, then the work you are doing is no longer conjure work. Now, I know I have just touched on the subject. The subject like a whole book probably has written out. This is just to give you an idea about the principles of conjure work. Okay. I also had a couple of books that I brought out as well. Ooh. And one thing I'm gonna say is most of the information about root work has been passed on by word of mouth from one family member to another, or through a worker who didn't mind sharing the information. There is not a lot of written information about out there except for the work gathered by Mr. Harry Hyatt, who is a traveler in the South. He was talking to conjure workers and gathered thousands of pages of information. And although Mr. Hyatt was not himself a worker, he was a retired minister. Okay? You can find these books out on print. I do not have these books in my store, but you can find these books and read them. If you find them, they are very, 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 very expensive. I'm telling you right now. This is the only large work about conjure work that I am aware of. Okay? So Mr. Hyatt has books they've created, and they are expensive, but he was traveling and went and got a lot of information, and yeah, just letting y'all know that. What else do I have for y'all today? Today, baby. That is rolled in a nutshell, a little bit. That was just a little bit about that old style conjure, that root work, that hoodoo, and again, it is not a religion, it is a practice. Y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, support your girl channel. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Visionsbyvasori.com. I offer client works. I offer love works. I offer tarot readings, oracle readings, as well as a lot of more things that I can't even think of right now. Yeah. Oh, I got a message. Hold on. I got a message from my people. I just changed something in the shop, and I just wanted to update anyone who hasn't seen it as of yet, that on September the 1st through October the 31st, of this year, it will be, okay, so let me start over, because I have blackout for left-handed work and baneful works will be from September the 1st through October the 31st. This is where I will not be performing any left-handed or baneful works until I open my books back up November the 1st. So if you want any left-handed works done by me, please book it as soon as possible, because I am resting from September the 1st through October the 31st. I will still be doing works, but only positive works at that time. I've noticed, again, an influx of baneful works, and I have done, I don't know, about 6 or 7 and big rituals in baneful left-handed works, and I've decided to pull back a little bit. I will be offering money works. I will be offering love work. I will be still offering positive works, healing, trauma, life coaching. That will still be on the books. But as far as any left-handed baneful works, you want to book it as soon as possible before September the 1st, guys. Okay, that is it. That is all. Again, visionsbyvasori.com. Peace and blessings. Bye, y'all. Oh yeah, guys, I had to come back and give you the titles that I pulled that will help you with this work in Conjure. And I just pulled 2 small books that helped me. This is my own personal book, Paper in My Shoe. It gives you name papers, petition papers, and prayer papers in the Hoodoo root work tradition. This book right here is a very good. It teaches you a lot of stuff. It gives you pictures as well. Let's see. Clarifies what Conjure is. Gives you love and sex spells. If you don't know the name, here's what you do. What's in a name. Got my glasses on. Hold on. Let's see. What's in a petition? What's in a prayer? I'm just skimming through this book. Blessing spells, dissolving your petitions, burning papers to ash, what to write with, how to fold your paper. It gives you all of that. And this here is Paper in My Shoe. This is a very good book, and this is my own personal copy. Also, this one here is Working Conjure. This one is available in the shop. This is by Hoodoo Sin Moise, a guide to hoodoo folk magic. Find your place of power at the crossroads. All right. In this book, it gives you the graveyard as a place of power, the power of the dirt, the foundation laid before us, the ancestors, working with both hands. The power of the root. And this is the book. This is a great book, and this one here is available in the shop for purchase. So this one here is Working Conjure by Hoodoo Sin Moise. This is a great book as well. So guys, thank you again. I just had to come through. I forgot to show you guys the books that I have and that I use in my work. Y'all keep conjuring. Bye.